I'm gonna start with Zayne's event story first. So it's the event story for the Tomorrow's Catch-22 banner. It's called Savage Overture. Let me actually do the meat section first, because I haven't really done much of this yet. There's like a day and 15 hours left until this event ends.
Not all predators bite at the drop of a hat. I am reasonable. Didn't you say we would be working together? Are you testing me by keeping your distance? Should I say that I'm looking forward to working with you again? You referred to me as a warden, yet you were the one calling the shots.
What?
Tell me, how else should I help you?
So let's do the secret meeting. Oh, and I have all these too. Let's use the truth serum.
Your technique for administering medicine could use some work.
Unlike other suspects, you're difficult to handle. Now, onto the first question.
The spring recruitment period. I have to train new prison guards during that time.
The question was, when are you at your most vulnerable? Why?
The retention rate of new staff often depends on how approachable their superiors are.
The notorious warden forcing himself to smile. I'm not surprised. As a professional, you're meticulous in your approach.
You might want to try suppressing your grin. That way your words will sound more believable.
Let me see the other option. How do you handle those who refuse to talk?
I'd recommend getting an ENT examination first. It's better to diagnose any diseases before imprisonment. One can save public resources that way.
What about ruthless criminals? You don't want them to wash their hands of their crimes, right?
Those individuals are typically ideal test subjects for new instruments.
Okay. Predator snare. Let's use that.
This scent. Is it a compound from that lure?
As expected of a warden talented in interrogation. Well, what do you smell?
I developed it myself. It's not difficult to recognize my own work. It's the kind of scent that makes one willingly walk into a trap.
How is it? Is your breathing erratic? Do you feel an edge? Is your heart racing?
Come closer. Then you'll be able to find out.
Command relay. Managing a large maximum security prison all by yourself. Has anyone ever called you the world's most capable civil servant?
You're the first.
Then do a few tasks to express your gratitude, please. What is the last digit of pi?
If I'm not mistaken, this is a control device, not a wish-granting machine.
It didn't hurt to try, right? Alright, here's a new task for you. Say 3 lies with a straight face.
The weather today is lovely. Your questions aren't amusing at all. I didn't think about you today.
Okay, Zayne. Illusion mask. Oh wait, this might be interesting.
The LCBI's interrogation techniques are getting more creative. Is this supposed to be a costume party or a product demonstration convention?
You'll find out soon enough. Well, has whatever you're seeing right now destroyed your last line of defense?
It is certainly a test of willpower. After all, it's hard not to be distracted when the person I care about is right in front of me.
Zayne is a problem. Stop. Medical case.
Are these my old tools? It's been a long time since I used them. How nostalgic.
Scissors, pliers, a bone chisel. You even have a drill. I heard you use them to pry open the mouths of countless criminals. Ow. I can imagine how terrified they were.
Usually, I immobilize them first, to prevent them from running away out of fear.
Isn't that a little too cruel?
It can't be helped. After all, many people have an inherent fear of dentists.
Wait, dentist? Then these are...
Indeed. You can see it's a set of dental instruments.
Oh.
Are these my old tools? It's been a long time since I used them. How nostalgic.
How did you manage that?
To begin with, I needed to obtain a dental practitioner's license.
Do you need medical knowledge for torture? Well, it could be very useful, I think. Or did you learn dentistry specifically to make suspects talk?
You don't need a license to use torture devices. However, you need one to use dental instruments.
I see. So the whole point is to make suspects open their mouths more effectively? What? Pause. As expected of someone who's very dedicated to his job, he found time to study despite his busy schedule.
I'm afraid I'll have to correct you on that. Practicing medicine without a license is illegal.
Okay, that was interesting.
Perhaps we could both be more honest with each other. Is this a body search? Or am I getting... special treatment?
I wish we could save these lines. It kind of sucks that we won't ever hear them again.
I would much rather see your eyes than talk to your back. Locking up uncooperative prisoners. Did you learn that from me? Do you want the truth? There are plenty of methods to make a prisoner talk. Obviously. You're being too gentle.
I think that might be it. Okay, let's get to his chapters now. So I did the prologue in chapter 1 for all of them, but I don't really remember what happened, so I'm gonna redo them all. So let's start with the prologue. The interrogation room is eerily silent as I face the criminal sitting across from me. Pretending to be confident, I slam the case file onto the table and take a moment to contemplate my approach.
You seem surprised.
It's hard not to be. I'm talking to the warden of Lincoln's maximum security prison here. Rumors about the sudden disappearance of this infamous warden have been circulating for a while now. But no one could have predicted him ending up behind bars, or him being in my custody for that matter. Our last meeting was when I had to be brought in for an internal investigation I spent a few days behind bars. To think the mysterious warden interrogated me himself back then, now our roles have been reversed. It's unfortunate that we've met again under these circumstances. Zayne remains silent. He only gives me a cold look. While you have the right to remain silent, rest assured I can make you talk. Since we're still in the friendly exchange stage, is there anything you'd like to say? We aren't strangers after all. Zayne raises his hands that are bound in chains. He shakes them in front of me and the metal rattles.
This is your idea of a friendly exchange?
I pull out a key from my pocket and swiftly unlock his restraints. The chains fall to the floor, the clattering jarring in the quiet interrogation room. And with that, I do believe I've proven my sincerity to you. Zayne finally gives me his undivided attention as he flexes his fingers.
A gesture of goodwill typically requires one to return the favor. What do you want?
Okay, let's move on.
A potent frenzy enhancer has appeared on the black market recently. It can make predators stronger and more dangerous, which will lead to more civil unrest. According to our intel, the frenzy enhancer was leaked from an abandoned Ever research facility. The report itself is in a hidden room in the Southern District. With a scrutinizing gaze, Zayne places his hand on the table.
You've already obtained this much intel. Why do you need me?
The location of this room is unknown to most people. Only select few have that information.
So you went through all the trouble to bring me here. I suppose you don't have many leads to work with.
We do have leads, but one more informant increases our chances of success.
Placing your hopes in another person's hands is rarely a wise choice.
His measured, unhurried tone always gives the impression that he has the upper hand. But I'm the one with all the cards here. Even enemies can become allies with the right incentive. A location can give the warden his freedom. Surely this is a fair exchange. Zayne looks up at me and a hint of amusement plays on his lips.
Is everything a transaction with you now? I thought you were relying on our history as old acquaintances.
I don't know why a warmth creeps up my face. I awkwardly turn away. I'll interpret that as you agreeing to cooperate. Zayne doesn't confirm or deny my statement. He picks up the pen and signs his name on the release form without delay. You didn't read the fine print. Aren't you worried you just sold your soul?
I already signed the document. If I did sell myself, I'll be at your disposal.
Okay, let's go on to chapter 1. After securing Zayne's release, we officially embark on our journey to uncover the intel we need. We search the abandoned Ever research facility and successfully locate pages of the research report related to the frenzy enhancer. Unfortunately, they only bear faint ink marks. There isn't any legible text we can make out. And so we have no choice but to take a different approach. You already contacted your informants? That was quick.
The prison is a melting pot. Spend enough time there and you'll have connections in all sorts of circles.
Why are we visiting a dessert place?
This is an intel hub.
As I take in the shop's pastel macaroon-themed display window, I find myself lost in thought. This is far from the image of Lincoln's top-secret intel hub that I had imagined. I expected the entrance to be behind an ominous painting, or maybe the fierce-looking statue by the door would be a secret switch.
If that were the case, it would have been exposed countless times by now.
Exactly, they gotta make it as discreet as possible. Zayne stops the car and leans out of the driver's window. He places his order with a composed expression.
Hello. I'm here to pick up my food.
Do you remember what you ordered, sir?
Ice cream with numbing spice. No chili. Donuts with salt and no sugar. 1 set of medium rare macarons and 1 well done. Both sprinkled with salt and pepper.
Huh?
Of course. And the lady?
I'll just have the plainest vanilla ice cream. No toppings, please. For the first time in my life, I feel like I'm the one with weird tastes. At a loss for words, I look at Zayne.
A slice of chiffon cake for her. The most basic flavor.
I think I'll try one of your salty donuts later if that's okay.
Here's your order, sir. Don't forget your receipt.
As soon as Zayne takes the receipt, he starts the car. We quickly leave the neighborhood. That's it? Confused, I clutch the large box, overflowing with desserts, and look to Zayne for answers. I didn't realize your associates in the black market had sweet tooths. It's sort of cute to use desserts as currency.
I was speaking in code. The ice cream represents the required service. The donuts signify my offered compensation, and the macarons indicate the deadline for intel delivery.
He hands me the receipt, and I see a string of numbers on it. It turns out to be a phone number in code.
We usually communicate using disposable phone numbers for follow-ups.
It's unbelievable that a dessert place could be a cover for an intel hub.
It started out as a pet shop, actually. However, they got tired of dealing with cat fur and dog hair, so they switched to desserts.
There's something in his words that catches my attention. A flood of memories washes over me. What about your old clinic? Did you leave it in their care too?
No. I closed it after I moved.
I'm starting to miss the birds, cats, and puppies you used to have it in your clinic.
It's fine. They found good homes. They're happier now than they were when they had to constantly move with me.
I'm about to commend him for his kindness when I realize something. Wait a second. You didn't give away my turtle too, right? It was staying with you temporarily. I was going to get it back.
Don't worry. I made sure to keep your turtle.
Satisfied with this answer, I hand Zayne one of the ice cream cones I'm holding. I keep the other one for myself. Here you go. Consider this payment for being a turtle sitter.
You're giving me the ice cream that I bought? What an interesting regifting strategy.
Even though he said those words, Zayne takes the ice cream cone. He bites the cherry off the top of it with ease. You have quite the collection of identities. 1 minute you're an underground doctor with a veterinary clinic as a front. Then you're the warden, and now you're a prisoner I've interrogated.
Aren't you the one who went from bounty hunter to enforcer? We simply took different roads to arrive at the same destination.
I'm about to probe about the meaning behind him saying the same destination when melted ice cream drips onto my cheek. Zayne suddenly leans in and ostensibly wipes it away with a napkin. He starts whispering. The sudden warmth of his breath on my ear makes an unexpected heat rush to my cheeks.
Be careful. I believe we're being watched.
Oh, great. Okay, good. Now to the news story. Chapter 2. Despite almost circling the entire city, we failed to lose our pursuers. We decided to enter the labyrinthine streets of the Southern District. Zayne navigates through the twisting alleys with remarkable ease. I'm surprised as he confidently acts as my guide. From the one-way streets to the bars with hidden side entrances, he knows every detail about this area like the back of his hand. After many twists and turns, we finally manage to shake off our pursuers. We can't stick around here, and I don't think my place is safe either. It'd be easy for them to keep an eye on the employee apartment the LCBI provided me.
Then we can go to my house?
Isn't the warden's residence in the heart of the Northern District? That's even more dangerous. The street is a flurry of activity. Cars and people rush past us. We move closer to each other to hear our voices over the din. Seemingly oblivious to the commotion around us, Zayne turns to face me.
I was referring to my house in the Southern District.
You took hiding in plain sight seriously, huh? How many hideouts do you have here?
I only have that and my old clinic. I lived there before I met you.
When I step into Zayne's house, I'm stunned by the unexpected coziness. From the paintings on the walls to the snowman-shaped utensil holder on the dining table, everything is warm. The lived-in atmosphere of the room pulls me in like a wave as I go from being on edge to the comforting embrace of everyday life.
I haven't been here in a long time. The fridge is empty, but there are still some non-perishable foods. Would you like something to drink?
Just water.
I'm sorry I can't offer another option. Tea is all I have.
It's fine. Having the warden invite me over for tea is a unique, flavorful experience. The atmosphere suddenly shifts, and I'm left with a mix of long-awaited relaxation and a nagging sense of unease. Are we taking a break?
We don't have any new leads, and we've hit a dead end. In addition, people are tailing us. We're out of options at the moment.
The tea is ready, and Zayne places an empty cup on the dining table in front of me. He gestures for me to help myself. I still have to serve myself, huh? I see the warden has a bit of hospitality. Emphasis on a bit.
At least it's a step up from the hospitality I offer at prison.
You also look more approachable than you did in said prison. Zayne unhurriedly pours himself a cup of tea. Then he looks at me with an expression that seems to hold a deeper meaning.
Should you visit again, I'll make sure to give you special treatment.
Why do I feel like I'm in his crosshairs? No, it's okay. Let's not plan another visit. Feeling uneasy, I wave my hand dismissively and quickly sip my tea. Hopefully I can change the subject. I haven't gotten a good night's sleep in ages. This tea should help me stay energized.
Take this opportunity to rest. We won't be missing out on anything.
Reassured by his words, I actually start to relax. Holding my cup, I walk around and take in my surroundings. I step out onto the balcony and crouch next to a pothos. I watch my pet turtle slowly poke its head out of its pool to sunbathe. After feeding the turtle, Zayne sits down in the lounge chair beside me. He took good care of my turtle. It looks healthy and energetic.
It was only supposed to be for a few days. No one could have predicted it moving in with me.
Following his gaze, I spot an array of turtle pet supplies from food to a fully equipped tank. You're the perfect turtle guardian. I'm impressed. Zayne softly chuckles.
If I mistreated this turtle, I'm afraid its owner would have shown up on my doorstep demanding answers.
Zayne and I bask in the afternoon sunlight. It's as if we're gently swaying in our lounge chairs. Outside is a world of urgent matters waiting for us, yet here we are sunbathing like cats. As sleepiness slowly washes over me, I can't help but let out a long yawn.
You may sleep if you're tired.
You won't sneak away if I do, right?
There are handcuffs of various sizes in the drawer.
What?
Should I bring them out for you?
Why did you just jump to that? Like, what? I mean, since you're offering.
I was playing.
Alright, I'll trust you. Unable to resist any longer, I feel my eyelids become heavy. When I wake up, dusk has already arrived. Zayne is still sitting beside me, his gaze fixated on the sunset. Because of his unreadable expression, I can only wonder what's on his mind. A gentle breeze passes us, and the wind chimes by the window softly tinkle. With this peaceful, idyllic atmosphere, it's hard to believe we're in the Southern District. Zayne,
You're awake.
your lounge chair is too comfortable. I only planned on taking a quick nap, but I slept like a baby. I gently touched the blanket draped over me before looking at Zayne. Thanks for the blanket.
You're welcome.
You were staring off into space. Were you thinking about something? He turns to face me and our gazes meet.
I was wondering when you'd wake up. The thought had barely crossed my mind, and then I heard you speak.
A vibrating phone interrupts us and masks the sound of my racing heart. Zayne lowers his head and taps his phone screen. It lights up.
It's a message from the Intel hub.
Chapter 3. According to the Intel Hub's latest findings, the pages of the research report we found weren't blank. The text was written in invisible ink. After applying a special solution to make the text visible, we uncover a set of coordinates. These pinpoint the exact location of the hidden room we're trying to find. We find ourselves before a shuttered storefront. A prominent for rent sign is hung on the door.
Property for rent. Interested individuals should act fast. For inquiries, call.
They really went all out for this cover, but what happens if someone actually called the nun? Before I can finish my sentence, an automated female voice speaks.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
Zayne puts away his phone and looks at me.
It's invalid.
Wait, you actually called? My words haven't completely left my mouth when he creates shards of ice. He uses them to destroy the padlock, then he opens the door. Noticing how I haven't moved yet, he glances back with a look that asks, "What are you waiting for?" Your clinic got a big upgrade. You offer a lot more services, huh?
Are you suggesting I do pet boarding during the day and work as a locksmith at night?
Don't forget, you're the LCPI's most wanted criminal. The more skills you have, the better your career prospects are once you're out of prison.
The LCBI is thoughtful. They're considering a prisoner rehabilitation program now.
I look through every nook and cranny of the abandoned shop for hidden mechanisms. Approaching the checkout counter, I lift the dust-covered cash register. Is using abandoned shops as a front a standard for secret operations?
Ever isn't exactly known for its creativity.
As expected, our search reveals something even more cliche, a hidden door tucked away in the corner of the shop. I exchange looks with Zayne before pressing a well-concealed button. The hidden door slides open. Will this passage lead us to the answers we're trying to find?
There's only one way to find out.
As we descend the winding staircase, rusty laboratory equipment and test tubes filled with colorful liquids gradually enter our line of sight. I take a step, but Zayne quickly holds me back.
Watch out.
Are there traps? Oh, an old, poorly maintained ceiling lamp crashes to the ground in front of us. It kicks up a cloud of dust. That was close. All these traps that were meant to deter intruders haven't been fully dismantled. Luckily, our seamless teamwork allows us to safely navigate the narrow corridor. We dodge the lasers and the occasional hidden trap. I would have handcuffed you sooner if I had known you were this nimble.
You're bold. Did you forget I still have a hostage?
What do you plan to do with my turtle? Zayne's lips curl into a slight smile, and a hint of mischief shines in his eyes.
It doesn't get to sunbathe during yard time.
That's so mean. Don't bring the turtle into this. I didn't do anything wrong. Hey, that's a violation of turtle rights. After what feels like an eternity, we finally reach the end. In the deepest part of the hidden room is a storage area. We uncover another research report. This is good, even if it's only a few pages. If we're lucky, the info on it might be enough for the investigation to move forward. With a sigh that barely conceals my disappointment, I took away this hard-earned, albeit incomplete, research report.
I found another one with crucial information.
Startled, I look at him. How did you get your hands on that?
The files they left here were stolen from me.
Under the cover of darkness, I follow Zayne back to his old workplace, the Predator prison. We make our way down the underground corridor and into the cell block. Iron bars greet us, and a sign on the wall catches my eye. It reads, "Escape attempts are prohibited. Violators will be fined." I don't think an escapee is worried about fines. Exactly. This is your idea of humor at the prison.
Yes, it's supposed to lighten the mood.
I'm sorry, but I don't think finding something to laugh about here is easy.
Well, we tried.
Standing before Zayne's office, I find myself in a silent standoff with the lock on the door. To my surprise, the password seems to be changing in real time. We need to figure it out on the spot. Wait, really? Wait, you don't know the password either? How is that even possible? Zayne grabs a pen and paper from the items that lie scattered on the receptionist's desk. He starts jotting down long strings of numbers in various combinations. It seems he knows the cipher.
When a predator goes into a frenzy, they temporarily lose their self-awareness. In addition, their pain response is dulled, and their emotions are suppressed. In this state, it would be impossible to keep any secrets. So the safest option would be no one knowing the password. That includes me.
I watch him work through the calculations. I don't know if I could ask a certain question, but my curiosity gets the best of me. What would happen if he went into a frenzy?
The frenzied state amplifies a predator's inner desires. Using that logic, the counter would be self-restraint. Perhaps I'll build my own personal containment cell and lock myself in it.
The image of him, desperately struggling to control himself, flashes through my mind. My heart grows heavy. I carefully think about my response. Have you ever entered the frenzied state?
No.
He circles the final string of numbers with his pen. When he looks at me, there's a hint of amusement in his eyes.
Of course, nothing is absolute. It could still happen.
What will you do then?
Nothing too fancy. As I said, I'll find a place to lock myself away.
He enters the password into the lock, and the office's door opens. You don't want others to see you when you're in a frenzy?
No one would want to see me like that.
I interrogated hundreds of predators. It'll take a lot to scare me. I'm trying to sound casual while speaking from the heart. I pretend to be interested in items on his desk. I idly touch them as I talk. If you ever go into a frenzy and no one's around to watch you, you can always call me. He looks up at me and I feel my cheeks become inexplicably warm. I quickly add to my statement. Consider it me returning the favor for when you treated my injuries.
Out of all the places you could have gone to for treatment, you chose a vet clinic. It's certainly an unconventional approach.
Who would have thought your clinic was hiding a real doctor? You even nursed me back to full health. I was really lucky. Zayne turns to reach for something from the bookshelf behind him. He pulls out a carefully preserved research report, then he offers it to me. With the other two research reports, a more complete picture is formed. I let out a sigh of relief. We have more information now, and while we still have things to investigate, it's a significant development. If we follow this lead, we might be able to find an antidote for that powerful frenzy enhancer. Lincoln City can become a more peaceful place, and I'll be one step closer to retirement. The corners of Zayne's eyes crinkle. Amused, he humors me.
Not only have you planned out a new career for me, but you also thought about your retirement.
Time waits for no one. Better safe than sorry. What about you? Have you thought about what you'll do once this is over? He looks at me and something flickers in his eyes. Whatever it is, he keeps it to himself.
I'm afraid not. Do you have any suggestions for my retirement plans?
Moving in with me. Moving in together. Why don't you go back to being a doctor? I'm sure you'll make a fortune. Don't forget to send me the address of your new clinic when you open it. I hope it'll treat humans and turtles.
I'll treat whoever visits. However, I hope you won't be one of them.
By the time we leave the prison, it's already dawn. Bathed in the warm winter sunlight, Zayne and I walk toward a new day. Okay, just one more at the ending. True to their word, the LCBI politely released Zayne after obtaining the information they needed. To fulfill my role as a gracious host and properly say goodbye, I asked him to meet up with me. The afternoon sunlight reminds me of that day we sat in those lounge chairs. Now we're talking while on a bench. I guess you'll go back to being a warden when all is said and done. When all is said and done. Today, Zayne has changed into his daily outfits. He hasn't answered my question. Maybe he's not allowed to discuss it.
What about you? Will you get a new assignment?
Yep, we both have matters to attend to. I won't be surprised if we didn't see each other for a while. That's how it's always been for us. Separation follows brief encounters. I only just learned that you've been developing a special drug and trying to track down the source of the predator outbreak. It's shocking that Ever stole the research you worked on to make the frenzy enhancer. I told him what I knew about his true identity and plans, yet he doesn't confirm or deny it. So this is what you meant when you said we took different paths to reach the same destination.
And to meet an interesting individual on this path, it was worth it.
Oh. Are you talking about me?
Yes.
I just wanted to tease him, but his straightforward response caught me off guard. I'm flustered. We sit in a comfortable silence for a long time. He turns to face me, and his gaze is so intense that I feel as if he's looking into my soul.
It seems like only yesterday when I found you covered in blood on the streets of the Southern District. In the blink of an eye, we both experienced ups and downs.
It's strange. Just like back then, I can't help but feel like we'll meet again when we say goodbye. Zayne chuckles as he watches me squint at the sunlight.
If that's the case, then this isn't goodbye. Perhaps you'll be walking around with your turtle and getting some sun. Then we'll bump into each other on a street corner. Eventually, we'll find ourselves sitting on a nearby bench. We'll be chatting just like old times.
And if fate doesn't bring us together, we can nudge it along. It's been a long time since we had a chance to sit and relax like this. Comfortable, Zayne and I talk like old friends. We sip our coffee and watch a double-decker bus drive down a tree-lined avenue. I've seen those tour buses around the city countless times, but I've never actually been on one. Alright, it's settled then. I'll get on the tour bus when I'm retired. As soon as the words leave my mouth, Zayne stands up. He gestures to the bus stop with his chin.
The bus will be there in a few minutes. Instead of waiting until you're retired, you can do it now.
We hastily throw away our coffees and clumsily sprint toward the tour bus. I quickly fall behind, yet Zayne grabs my hand and pulls me along as we run. I didn't think Zayne was fit. Have you seen him? Okay, we board the bus just seconds before it leaves.
We made it.
The bus isn't crowded and we find 2 seats by the window. We were so caught up in our conversation and appreciating the scenery that I only just now noticed the sunset. Doesn't this feel like we're chasing the sunset?
A full tour of the city takes 5 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh heck no. Good job, you killed the mood. I know, you think it's a waste of time. We can get off.
I can't think of a better way to spend our time.
It's snowing before we realize it. Snowflakes drift through the half-open window and gently land on our shoulders. I reach out to brush off the delicate snowflake that settled on his cheek. Zayne, I think every sunset... see, smooth talking. Zayne, I think every sunset will remind me of you from now on. Oh, that's how it ends.
Yo! It's not funny. It's really not funny.
Okay. Dang, it took me 50 minutes. What the heck? I can do Silas next.